What is Bell's inequality?
Bell's inequality. Um, it's a good.
Bell's inequality.
It's a very Bell's inequality. So, let me give you a link before anything else. It's about physics. Do you know anything about physics?
Minimally.
Minimally. That's good enough. Um, Let me get you a link. History. There it is.
An intuitive way that I would.
La 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 la. Here's a link. In the picture, you will recognize Professor Brian Greene from Columbia University. Have you ever heard of Columbia University?
Probably in passing. I'm at work, so I'm probably not going to be able to respond much.
Hmm.
So just go through it, explain your ideas, and I'm going to mostly listen while you talk. I'm here to learn, so I'm not
Mhm.
going to debate with you.
Mhm.
So if you have a position, just lay it out for me and I'll just listen to it, okay?
Okay. So it all begins with the question, does the moon exist when you're not looking? That's the question. What do you think? Or you're not going to answer?
Yeah, so it this comes back to like if a tree falls down in the middle of a forest, does it make a sound
Yes.
if no one's there to listen to it,
Yes. Same. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. So what's the answer?
Yep.
What's your answer?
So
Mm-hmm.
my answer to that is sound can be subjective, right? And that's why the argument exists, right?
I don't know what that
Sound
means.
sound sound being subjective.
I
Well,
mean, the question
as
is,
we know,
the
okay,
question
so
is,
it's not a yes or no, right? That's the problem
yes,
with
it
all of
is.
these
Yes,
very
it is.
philosophical. No, if you want a yes or no, then you'll have to keep digging long and hard.
I mean,
It's not a yes or no though.
but the question is, right? Does X, I mean, it's a
Right.
yes or no format
But
of.
I have the freedom,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
The jurisdiction to
Hmm.
answer it as not a yes or no,
Well,
right?
okay, but it is sure you could do that with every yes or no, but
And all yes or no questions are sometimes yes, sometimes no, other times, right?
yes,
A
yeah.
computer isn't always at yes. It has a binary switch. Sometimes it's at zero and sometimes it's at one. Now, is a binary switch in a computer at yes or at no?
Wait, you're asking me? I mean, look,
Right. That's the problem because it can be yes sometimes and it can be yes other times. So to answer yes or no to that question is wrong and right at the same time.
look, the question is, what's your opinion? I mean, is your
Okay.
opinion?
And
Mm-hmm.
right. So I'm not going to answer my opinion in a yes or no until
Hmm.
I can go through the ideas
Hmm.
on my own
Hmm.
in order to express the idea. And then once I get to the end of my idea, then I can give you a more formidable answer.
Okay.
So I'm not just going to say yes or no.
You don't even
And
have.
honestly, I
Hmm.
so I would say that does a sound exist if a tree falls into the forest,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
If nothing is around to witness the sound, right, to hear the sound, then no one can identify whether or not that sound may exist. But the vibrations that cause the sound, I would say, still exist. But since nobody witnessed the sound, it's not sound; it's just vibrations within the air,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So so by that answer, it's like, okay, sound. did not exist at that time because someone has to witness a sound, right? But the vibrations that created the sound still happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my point on that.
So you're taking what seems to be what's known as Einstein's position, also known as realism, namely that reality exists regardless of an observer. Reality is observer independent.
That was a very good point the other person made about the sound of the vibration. Uh, I like to add one thing. What do you think about the other hypothesis that says that the sound exists but is carried by the vibration, and you, the receiver, only experience it because you are there? What do you think about that?
But we're trying to understand Bell's inequality. So Bell's
Oh, I
inequality.
don't know about that.
Oh, so but the question is the moon observer you're hot miking?
Apologies.
Yeah, no problem. So the question is the moon there when we're not observing it? Or is the cat dead and alive when we're not looking? Or is the cat dead or alive when we're not looking? This
And
goes.
what's your
Mhm.
answers? What are the answers?
There's two answers about the cat in the box. So is the cat right? It's a thought experiment that you put um, some
Schrödinger's cat?
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. So you have an atomic particle that might decay and might not decay. And there's a Geiger counter that will notice if it decays. The Geiger counter is connected to a switch, connected to a hammer that will fall on a glass vial and will break it. In the vial, there is cyclone B gas that will instantly kill the cat in the box. So some people say
Yeah.
that atomic particles can be in superposition. They can be both decayed and not decayed at the same time. That atomic particles can be or are in a superposition. And it's only when you observe them that the wave function collapses and they decide if they are in one state or another state. So if you believe that about an atomic particle, observer, you're hot miking. So if you believe that about an atomic particle, then Schrodinger's cat is supposed to bubble up this superposition of an atomic particle and force you to admit that even a cat can be in a superposition of being in two states at the same time. So the question.
But superposition
Mhm.
superposition is not about the cat being dead and alive in the same time. That's a violation of the law of non-contradiction. It says that it is probable that there is a probability that the cat is alive and there is a probability that the cat is dead, but it's not both true. It's one of them is true, but you don't know yet whether the observer causes it or not. That's not the issue. It's not a violation of the law of non-contradiction, right?
Before you check, though, it is in superposition. Before you,
It
that's the
is.
whole idea. This is what you are treating the variable as to do some work on it. Before you check its instance, this is used in quantum computing and the like.
Yeah,
Felstaff,
but before you look,
They collapse.
Felstaff,
They
your
actually
audio is very low.
collapse.
Can you increase your audio, Felstaff?
No, I can't. I can open my audio
Well,
program
can
and
you guys hear me?
the
Hello?
glitch will go away. Hold on.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can hear
Yo,
you.
Mr. Slave, you
Any
remember?
better?
I'm your friend from yesterday.
Yes, sir, I remember.
Is this any better?
Not much better because everybody's audio is good, and you're like half everybody's audio.
We can hear
Turn me
you.
up above everybody else.
I don't know how to do
Yo,
that.
fail
Everybody,
stuff, fail stuff. I'm not trying to
You
fail
right
stuff. I'm
click
not trying to
me
be
and
rude
then
to
you
you or
drag my
anything.
volume up.
wait, Satmaya, 1 second. Felstaff was about to speak, and then I just asked him to raise his audio, so he still has the right of first speech.
Oh, I have the right? That's awesome. I was
Wait,
just saying that before you check the particle, it is functionally in superposition. Of course, you can resolve it and the waveforms collapse into one result, but the idea is that you're doing these operations before you check the result to have some kind of tunneling result instead. It's very abstract. It's a very abstract idea, but
Yeah,
we
but
do
that's the
use it to
point.
compute things.
That's the point. I don't think we are in disagreement. I just think we are maybe talking past each other. The cat is not dead and alive really and concretely at the same time. That's obviously a violation of the law of non-contradiction, which science uses the law to advance in knowledge. So how can science refute the very thing it uses for science? That's
Obser-
impossible.
Observer, you're
So
hot miking. Observer, please mute yourself.
It's
What is
not
yours?
contradictory to the imagine the cat is both alive and dead.
yes, it is in the imagination, but the contradiction in reality is impossible.
When you collapse the waveform and you check the thing, of course, it cannot both be, we both understand that it cannot both be dead and alive. It can no longer be in superposition. But it's the, before we check it and we don't know, to treat that variable as in superposition is actually workable. Like we can use that to describe phenomena in our reality.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. The point is, when it is in superposition, in that state, when it is quantum, that's not a reality as you and me are real, right? That's my point. It's a probability. It's about mathematical. It's abstract.
Observer, please, you're hot miking. Sage, you also have a lot of background noise. Anyway, look, so
I agree, but say we had two cats with two boxes and two cats, and there's two cats and two boxes, and if they're tied, right, like by an electrical cable. So when we check the box to see that one's dead, that means that necessarily without having to open the other box, we already know the other cat's dead because it would have received the same shock. If we treat both of these things as if they're in superposition and we use that variable in an equation, then when all comes to be and you check the cat, then everything else resolves. But the just the same as we can do calculus with a variable x that isn't any particular variable, it's arbitrary. This superposition was important to making like several calculations about our reality to tell
Yeah,
us truth.
of course. No, of course. I'm not denying. I'm not saying the theory is false or anything like that. I'm saying the interpretation is, as far as understood you, seems to be false. When you say it's really dead and alive, no, it's not really dead and alive. It's in a quantum dead and alive. Abstractly is dead and alive, but not really. When we talk about reality, like you and me are real, that's what I mean. So what I'm to make it simple, abstraction is not a reality per se. It's an abstraction.
I do agree, because the cat is not a quantum example. The cat's a physical example. But the reason we've even come up with this is that on a quantum level, there's like entropic forces that just work to almost completely negate everything we know about how particles should move and react with each other. And checking a particle actually doesn't tell you a whole lot about everything else around it. It's in superposition that it acts like, without checking it, we actually influence it when we check it. We make it do something, whereas before it was acting entropically. And this is the phenomenon we seek to describe by putting the cat in an abstract scenario where we treat it as if it would be in superposition, even though in the box it must be dead or alive, one of the two. We influence it by looking at it. But this doesn't, the cat will be dead or alive, but the particle might not be up or down. We don't know. It could, there's so many different
in
positions
potential.
now that we put it in that it must be cycling through these positions constantly. And that's how we treat it in superposition, as if it is all of the positions at once.
I think it's the opposite. They treat it like if it's in potential to be everywhere, but it's not everywhere. Only when you observe it that it actualizes in one of the positions. So it's not moving because it doesn't exist yet, but it's in potential to exist.
Okay, hold on,
That
guys.
too.
Let-
I was talking positionally, but there is like an existence. Yes.
Okay,
as well.
so let me just so I'll tell you what I think. So there's two ways to view the world about the cat. It's either the cat is both dead and alive. The cat is in a superposition of being both dead and alive at the same time until we open the box and we look, and then its wave function, as they say, collapses and it decides whether to be dead or alive. That's one view. That is known as the Bohr's view of reality, after Niels Bohr. That is also known as anti-realism in philosophy. Another point of view is Einstein's point of view, Einstein's position. Einstein said that this is obviously nonsense. The cat is either dead or alive. And it is rather our knowledge of the cat's state that is in superposition. It's very simple. That's
More reasonable.
yeah, but okay, we don't know, but we don't know who's right.
I mean, we do.
How do you know?
When
We
it
do.
comes to a
One-
cat, yes. When
Yeah.
it comes to a cat, I agree. Your like very physical definition of the cat would have to be true at all times. Like we would have to accept that there is a physical entity
Why?
that like doesn't just disappear from
What's
this
your
world.
proof?
Because I don't just disappear from this world if I go in a box.
Well, to
True.
me, maybe
Yeah.
to me, when I put you in a box, maybe to me, you have gone into a superposition, right? I
Yeah, but
don't-
that's Einstein position.
no,
But we're
Einstein.
working on a collective like collaboration between your mind and my mind to make up reality. Like what is real is that I am just in the box.
No, as far as I'm concerned,
Right.
I am the only observer in this universe. I don't know if you even
That's solipsism.
yes, I don't know if you actually exist. So as far as I'm concerned, you're in a right. There's two opposing point of views. The Niels Bohr position is that reality is in a superposition. That's the anti-realism. Mhm.
There, I mean, interestingly enough, is a position on this like, let's say I put a cat in the box, all right, and I close the box up. So my assumption is that the cat is still in the box, but that could be false, right? The cat might not be there at all. Is that like a position that can be taken?
Yes, as long as
Not
you don't
really.
know, right? At the end of the day, we're talking about quantum particles that we don't know if they have a state when we're not observing them. And the cat is just a collection of quantum particles. Therefore, the cat is in a superposition, and the cat might exist, might not exist. The cat, there might be two cats, there might be an infinite number of cats, there
No,
might
no,
be
that's
cats.
absurd.
No,
Well, we don't
that's
know.
That's a clear
very
violation
silly.
of laws of logic.
Well, but these laws are man-made, so you
Well, but here's the issue. If you're saying the laws of logic are man-made, so then how did you reason to your position? Is it
I
just
don't
an
think you
absurd
can
position?
claim that laws of logic are man-made. They are discovered. We didn't make the laws.
Yes,
Point.
we
That's not the
did.
point.
Logic is
That's
absolutely a
like,
paradigm that we work in. Logic
okay,
isn't like
we work in logic,
revealed to
sure,
us.
but there's nothing
No,
to
that's
suggest that other things don't also work in logic. For instance, we didn't come up with the idea of gravity. Gravity was here long before humans were here, and it will be here long after we are gone,
well, that's the
right?
question.
Well,
We
the
don't know.
logical reasoning that make the world up and the way it behaves is a logical one.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if gravity exists, if the Earth exists when we're not here. We don't know.
are you kidding me?
That's Niels Bohr's position of anti-realism. That
Yeah, but it's
reality,
an absurd position.
well, most
It's a
physicists,
self-refuting position.
well, most physicists actually hold this position, and this is the Bell, right? This is Bell's inequality,
I
and
doubt that.
there was a Nobel Prize given for this proof that of anti-realism. So we are arguing
I
with
doubt that.
what?
I have my doubts about that. I think maybe you
About what?
misunderstood something because science deals all has to deal uses rather the laws of logic to get new knowledge.
You
If
have
science
look
is
at
you're saying to
look
me
at the
if you're saying
video.
to me physics and science is
Look
refuting the laws
look
of
at
logic, then there is no science anymore.
look at the video in the side chat. This is the picture that you see. That's Professor Brian Greene. He teaches in Columbia. He
Yeah,
is mainstream
yeah, I know him.
physics. So the title of
Yeah,
the video is Bell's theorem. The non-locality, that's a violation of the speed of light. I mean, you can watch his video. There's all the mainstream physicists will teach the same thing. They all teach Bell's inequality. They all teach the same thing, that Einstein was wrong and reality does not exist when we don't observe it. They all teach the same thing.
question. Here's the question: do you think the way they arrived at this position is logical or illogical?
They have a proof. You can watch their proof. It's called Bell's
So,
test.
yeah. Okay, I'm just asking you a question. So they have proof. This proof is not absurd, right? It's logical. It's reasonable, right?
Yes.
But if it is logical and it is reasonable, it means that science to be done assumes the laws of logic. So how can science refute the same laws that it uses to make proofs?
They don't say that it does not conform with logic. They
Good, but if it doesn't refute the laws of logic, then to say the cat is dead and alive at the same times, really dead and alive at the same times, is a violation of the laws of logic, which science cannot do.
so
No,
so what?
that's laws of logic are there's actually no such thing as the laws of logic. There's a like philosophy people who like subscribe to the like Aristotelian method of writing out logical like shorthand. Uh, that that has like rules to it, but they're by no means recognized as laws of our reality. And
They are laws.
physicists, no, physicists absolutely do not work by these as principles of our
They do.
natural science. No, they don't.
Oh, they really do, because what we mean by laws, we don't mean that
Look
there
it
is
up.
some kind of dictator that forces us to use these rules. What we mean by laws of logic, we mean this is the structure of the mind, how it works. You cannot work the mind cannot work in any other way than the mind is, and he
Observer,
is structured to work with these laws.
observer. The
No.
fact that you keep claiming that you keep asserting these laws, that doesn't give them any credence any more than I would say that these are anti-laws or these laws are incorrect. I mean,
But you don't have.
anyone can assert. You're just asserting. The question is the
Yeah, but
moon there when we're not looking? Is the cat both dead and alive when we're not looking? That's the question. And if you want to prove it, you're welcome to prove it. They
yeah, but you
proved,
cannot.
hold on. They proved it to be incorrect, and they gave the Nobel Prize of 2022 to the people that proved it to be incorrect, that Einstein is incorrect. And if you want to prove Bell's theorem incorrect, then you're welcome to present your proof.
Well, here's the issue that you have. Since you saying the laws of logic are no longer laws of logic, they can be refuted, which mean any reason I can give you, since the laws of logic are not absolute.
I didn't even take.
You have.
I didn't even take.
Let me finish.
No, I did
You
not.
have no way to assess them.
No. I didn't take a position about the laws of logic. I personally don't have a position about the laws of logic. Like you claim the law of something doesn't equal its opposite or something. You said the law of, what do you call it?
Non-contradiction.
The law, right? The law of non-contradiction.
Right. So if
Whatever.
I can interject, if we
Let me just
can't come to an agreement on the laws of logic, then we will not come to an agreement on this topic.
hold on.
Like we have to discuss
True.
like
Hold
the
on.
That is
base.
true.
Like we're talking about the top of the pyramid. If we can't agree what's at the bottom of the pyramid, then we cannot talk about what's at the top.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
That's a good
I'm
point.
not. I'm. Hold on. I said I'm not taking a position, and But the point is, the law of non-contradiction, that a thing cannot be itself and its opposite at the same time. That is actually the question that we're asking. Can a cat be both dead and alive at the same time? We're actually questioning the law of non-contradiction. That law, which you claim is a law of logic,
Yeah, but the issue.
is right now up for debate. And I understand that you want to assert it to be true, but they say it's not true, and they have proof it's not true. So if you want to claim they're wrong,
But
please
my friend,
present. Yes.
my friend. So when you asking if the laws of logic are true, the law of non-contradiction is true or not, you tell me, you're saying accurately, you're making a claim. I am making the claim. You're telling me to give you the proof. Let's say I have the proof, and I'm gonna give you the proof. The way that you're gonna assess these proofs is you're gonna see, oh, is it contradictory? Does it have major problems? So in order for you to assess it, you have to assume the law of non-contradiction. So how can you, without assuming the law of non-contradiction, know if the evidence that I'm giving you is true or not?
For
It's impossible.
example,
It's a vicious circle.
No. I don't have a problem
You
with.
don't see it, really?
No.
Hold on,
Here.
hold on.
Hold on.
Take
Let
off
me.
here as well.
Wait. It's very quick. So
Wait,
as
well,
long.
this goes back to what you just
No,
said.
just let me.
I have to address this before you go on.
Give me exactly 20 seconds, and then I'll give you the floor. So
Go
as
ahead.
long as the cat is in the box and I don't know, then it doesn't matter if my knowledge is in superposition or the cat is in superposition. So the law of non-contradiction, I don't care. As long as I don't know, then I don't care, right? You have to prove to me that there is a difference. Bell's inequality is the proof of the difference, and it proves that non-reality wins. Einstein loses. The cat
You're missing the
is.
point.
Let Sage have his word. Sage, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So I'm semantical, all right, and the reason why I am semantical is because I believe that the devil is in the details. All right. So with that being said, the way you're using the word proof is bothering me a little bit because the truth of the matter is that there is no such thing as proof. Now, when you talk about the scientific community, this is especially true in that we do not, like, physicists have calculated that there is a chance, a remarkably small, but a chance
Probability.
that gravity ceases to exist, just stops working one day, just turns off like a light switch, and suddenly all of gravity just ceases to exist, right? Now, that is a obscenely small chance for reality actually do that. But that chance is still there. And because there is that chance, then proof, being I can prove to you that something exists with 100% guarantee that it exists, that is not a thing. All you truly have is evidence. And so science doesn't prove anything. Keep that in mind. Like, there is no such thing in science that says we have proven X. That's not a thing.
Yeah, there is. There's Newton's laws.
Newton, it's called a law for a reason. It doesn't mean that, and look, everything is set in science, in the scientific method, that that it can change. Even a law is not set in stone.
Yeah, a law is just an observations of general patterns repeating themselves. It's not the law doesn't do anything.
Okay, I think
I
we're
think
getting.
you're misunderstanding.
Yeah, I
what
think we're
the,
getting.
like, just the scope
Yeah, we're
of
getting
Newton's
lost.
laws.
Yeah, go ahead, Falstaff.
I mean, the idea that matter can't be created or destroyed, like the conservation, these things they're not only true in every case, they underlie our, like, physical reality as a
Yes,
rule. It
but
is
they are
not
not
that they are
absolute.
archaic and that they break down. It's that there always will be a conservation of energy.
How do you know
Like,
that?
it is a law.
How do you know that?
How
How do
do
you
we
know?
know
Yeah,
that?
but
How
it's
do you know?
Because we have actual, like, equations, right, of which we've generalized that prove this in every case.
Well, all these
you're assuming the very thin
equations,
equation, my friend.
all these equations say is that we've always noticed that energy is conserved. It doesn't
No,
say
no,
anything
no.
about the future.
It tests it in every possible case,
Yeah, but we.
right? It
Oh,
is
yeah, but
it is an equation.
it's just a summary of what we noticed. We noticed that energy is always conserved. That doesn't mean that tomorrow morning energy will be conserved. That's just an assumption.
No, it's not that we've noticed it. It's that there is no way to, like, break this variable. There is no way to not have energy conserve and create free energy. There is no way to just delete energy out of a system and not have
It's
it
not a
flow
lot.
into another system. There's just no way that these things are possible in our
When you
underlying
say no
reality.
way, when you say no way, it's
It
like you're
means it's
saying
the
it's a logically
it's the
impossible,
only
but it's not
things that
logically
we
impossible.
have deduced inductively to be impossible.
But
Yes, I agree.
induction is, it's not deduction. Anyway, look, induction just means that you notice something and you assume it for the future. That's all it means.
You
It's
go
just
from
an assumption.
particular to universal in inductions. Yeah, you go from
Induction is
particular to
checking
universals.
Right.
cases. It's literally checking every case.
But you cannot check every
No, no,
case.
no, not every case. That's impossible. Yeah, that's
No, it
impossible.
is not impossible to say, if I wrote a proof out to check for whether a number is even or odd. In every case, I can, like, deduce or induce that to, like, one particular equation, and if a number does not fit that equation,
That's not the point. The point is
it
that you
is
cannot
even
check every
for
case.
every case.
If I tell you, no, wait. Let me give you an example. Do you believe? I hope that every man is mortal.
Do I believe every
Do you
man
believe
is
that?
mortal?
I mean, we
What is
noticed
mortal? Like,
everyone has died.
alive?
Yeah.
We just noticed the phenomenon that everyone has always died.
Yeah. Do
That
you
doesn't
think
mean
it's a natural law? Do you think it's a natural
we
law
don't.
for men to die?
We just noticed it. We might be wrong, and tomorrow morning somebody might begin living forever. Who knows? We don't know.
I'm trying to give him an example where I'm trying to give him an example
There is no
where we
example.
didn't check. We didn't check. We didn't check every human being on Earth, past and present, to see if they die, then to conclude to the law that all men die. So induction doesn't rely on checking every case.
Right.
It's not true.
Exactly.
It does. If it's a proof by induction, it is checking every case by standard. That's your.
Look,
this
but
is-
okay, look, we just noticed that energy is conserved. It's just something we noticed. Tomorrow morning, we might discover that we were wrong. We might discover that the laws of nature have changed. Who knows? So it's a temporary law. You could say temporarily we have a law. In general, we noticed energy is conserved. And by the way,
not
dark
even not
energy.
in general.
No, dark
Not
energy.
there is no
It's a
case that you
universal
could
law.
That's not
give me.
true. That's not true. Dark energy is
No, give me a
certainly
case.
dark energy is certainly a violation of the.
Like creation, for
Dark
example.
energy
You can say
isn't
that.
like an actual thing.
No,
It's
dark
literally
energy.
an X variable in our equations. We
No,
don't know what it is.
no. Dark
It's not
energy.
some contradictory like variable
No,
to
no, no,
the
no,
conservation of energy.
no. Dark energy is
We
pushing.
simply can't observe these areas.
Falstaff, let me respond. So we've noticed that the universe's expansion is accelerating. Something is pushing all the galaxies and the clusters of galaxies apart. You're talking about the most incredible forces in the universe. Certainly, energy on the universe scale is not conserved. So, look, it doesn't matter. Energy is.
Something
We just
isn't pushing them. Their movement is pushing them apart. Not just like some
no.
random
That
like
that's
dark
that
matter
doesn't make any
force.
sense.
That is
No,
dark
dark
matter
energy.
is
No,
the
dark energy.
variable,
No,
or
dark
dark energy is the variable for the edges, the expansion.
No, the whole
What
universe.
is
No. The whole universe is uniformly accelerating its expansion. There seems to be a constant pressure all over the universe. Certainly, the
but we're not
conservation of
going in
energy.
the same direction.
No,
We're
conservation of
going
energy is
random
not.
directions.
The universe does not seem to respect conservation of energy. Conservation of energy is not true on the universe scale. So we noticed conservation of energy
No,
within the small
this
scale, within, you could say, galaxy clusters, yeah. But when you move away from galaxy clusters, yeah,
you're
conservation of.
taking a variable that is an unknown,
What
and
do you,
you're telling me that
no.
it breaks a law of like fundamental physics.
Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The laws of
Yeah,
physics.
no, it does.
Hold on, let me speak.
It does matter.
Wait, let me
You're
just
appealing to
finish.
a variable you know nothing about.
Stop. Look, the conservation of energy is just something that we notice. We noticed that this thing that we define as energy, which is by itself, it's a human construct. The mathematical definition of energy is a human construct. So that thing that we defined mathematically as energy seems to be conserved some of the time. Like within cluster scale, you could argue that it is in general conserved. We've noticed that. But on a universe scale, it's not conserved. It's not respected.
No, I reject that. You're appealing to an unknown
I don't
to
know what that
discredit
means.
and to disprove it. An unknown means we
I
don't
know
know
what it
anything
means.
about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look,
You
okay,
can't appeal
can
to
you
something
prove?
you have no idea of the nature of
What do
to
you mean?
say that this
Why?
absolutely disproves our fundamental laws of physics.
What do you mean? Okay, what do you mean fundamental laws? I don't know what that means.
That's
What
what
makes?
the conservation of energy is.
Can
It's
you
a
prove?
basis,
Can
like a
you prove?
fundamental mathematical
Can you
theorem.
prove? Can you prove energy is conserved? Do you have a proof that energy is conserved?
Yeah,
What's your proof?
I'll get you one. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't want to write this out on my own. I can't.
Did you guys solve the issue?
I mean, I asked him for a proof. He said that he can prove that energy is conserved. He said that he can prove that energy is conserved. I asked him for the proof. He said he'll do something. I don't know. I'm waiting for his response. All the
I mean,
laws.
that's a
Mhm. All the
no, the
laws.
law of the law of the conservation of energy is a very established, well-known law in physics. Nobody would deny it, right?
No, that's not true. I just finished explaining that dark energy is certainly a violation of conservation of energy on the scale of the universe. No one denies that. So, conservation of energy is actually not a law of nature.
I'm not gonna claim I know a lot about physics
There's
or
nothing.
physicists,
There's
but
nothing.
but I never heard of any
But you
physicist
know,
who gonna
but you
deny
know, but you
that law.
know, but you know that the universe is expanding, and that in 1998 we discovered that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. The only way you can explain that is there is an energy that keeps growing, some extra energy. There's no conservation of energy. Something is pushing the universe apart. It's either it has to be external, something external to the universe. If you believe in conservation of energy, you can't believe that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. That's a
Right.
Are
violation of
The
the
you
evidence would suggest that we're still in the barrel of a gun, and whatever's pushing us is still pushing us.
but we're
are you
the
saying
universe expansion is accelerating.
yeah, that's true, that's true. But are you saying that when the universe is expanding, new energy is created ex nihilo? Is that what you're saying?
You tell me if the
No, you tell me.
of course it's being created out of nothing, of course.
So from nothing came something. That's your position.
I mean, that is that is what seems to be going on. I mean, there's ways to explain it, but on its face, you cannot argue that on its face that conservation of energy is respected in the universe.
No, we can argue. We can say that's impossible
But
since we have laws of logic.
what forget about forget about logic. I'm not this. Let's assume any law of logic that you
Right. The
like.
laws of logic would by the laws of logic, we are accelerating, not decelerating.
The expansion is accelerating. The only explanation is that conservation of energy is not respected on a universe scale. I don't have any other explanation. And if you claim that gravity is respected, then you have dark matter that seems to violate the Newtonian laws of gravity that we don't have an explanation for. So we don't, all these laws, you guys keep quoting these laws. So there's always violations. All these laws are always violated. Like within our neighborhood, maybe these laws are respected. But when you go a little bit deeper into physics, all the laws break apart, fall apart. So the law,
What's exactly your position, if I may ask? Are you a solipsist? Are you a skeptic? Are you positivist? What's your philosophical position exactly?
I believe, as the room says, Bell's inequality is BS. But I'm not going to just give you the answer. I'm going to let you struggle.
Oh, okay. Kind of Socratic method.
Exactly.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, of course, I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm not going to let you be wrong and get to the right answer using the wrong path. You're going to get to
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
No, I thought this is really your position.
I mean, Brian Greene, you can listen to him, you can listen to Sean Carroll, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you can listen to all the greatest physicists that walk this earth. They basically all say the same thing. that they're reality. They're anti-realist. They like Sean Carroll believes in the multiverse. Professor Sean
I'm not,
Carroll.
I'm not sure they are the greatest physicists. I would say they are
They-
more the most popular one,
No, no,
not
no,
the
no,
greatest.
no. They are the greatest because I study their courses. There's no question that they are the greatest. I mean, they're awesome. I don't have any complaints about them. When they teach, they're awesome. And the way if you listen, no. I cannot teach what they teach. Obviously, I am nothing compared to them. Nevertheless, they're wrong when it comes to Bell's inequality.
I see the irony.
No, I'm not. No, no. I'm never sarcastic. I'm never ironic. I'm always serious. I'm not joking. No. They're great
Okay.
physicists. I'm.
I'm sure they're a great physicist.
I don't
Not the
know.
greatest.
I don't know a millionth of the physics that they know. I don't claim to know it. But when it comes
That's
to
true
Bell's,
too.
inequality, I've been able to find their mistake.
Yeah.
So back.
Not so great then. Not so great then.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Look, we're not saying that they're the Pope. We're not saying they're infallible. It's
Short of.
Anyway, so back to Schrodinger's cat. So how do you know maybe the cat is both dead and alive? Maybe the moon is not there when you're not looking. How do you know the moon is there when you're not looking?
So one of the big things that we get into here is, once again, I'm going to bring forth the laws of logic. That and our argument, I think that the proper argument to make here is that we live in an objective reality. And if that wasn't true, then we would not have been able to put forth science. And it is science that is doing these observations and these hypothesizing that allows us to have conversations such as this. So let's say I agree with you that the cat somehow disappears and is no longer following the laws of logic. Well, the problem we get into now is that because the system that we're using to make these claims is completely reliant upon the objective reality, then which one do we get rid of first? The entire system or just the theory that makes the claim?
Well, hold on. So, can you prove that the cat is not?
There's no such thing as proof. There is no such thing as proof.
Okay, let's assume logic. Assuming logic. Right, let's start from somewhere. So we're assuming all the laws of logic.
Fuck? We've
So-
gone too far, dude. We need to stop.
Why?
Holy shit.
You still owe me a proof about.
Yeah. You know why I'm taking so long. They fucking made a ring, a time crystal, quote unquote, that fucking vibrated according to its own frequency. And if they perturbed it too hard, it went back to only being manipulated by the variables of the equation. It's insane.
So, are
We've
you
gone
going
too
to
far.
present your proof of conservation of energy, or are you going to retract your claim?
I reject time
No, wait.
asymmetry as
You
some
owe me a
reading.
proof. You said you're going to prove conservation.
I can give you a proof in rejection of the concept of timing.
No. You said you can prove conservation.
I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Go ahead.
In rejection of the idea of time crystals and such.
You said you're going to prove conservation of
I
energy.
I can. As a predicate that time crystals don't exist.
What are you talking about?
And also, proof does not exist.
What are you talking about?
My
Anyway,
proof will have a predicate
just
that time
present your proof.
asymmetry is
Are you gonna
false.
present your
There's
proof?
no such thing as proof.
No,
No, there is.
we're assuming logic. We're assuming the laws of logic. So assuming the laws of logic, Felstaff, you owe me a proof that
Yeah.
the law of conservation of energy is true. I'm waiting for the proof.
Yes, the laws of law. I'll give you this one. All right, hold on here. I want the proof.
Prove it.
Let's see if this will paste right. Wait, it pasted it as a text file. I wonder how that's gonna work out.
Oh, that's your proof? So you're proving
And
the
then
law of conservation of energy. Let K be the
predicate
kinetic energy system a condition of. Okay,
time
I can't
He's
read that.
bringing
asymmetry.
evidence through a proof. Like, let's get the wording straight.
Predicate time asymmetry is a non-existent conception.
Is that English?
There's Greek lettering in it to
Okay,
represent.
explain to me this proof.
It's using
Okay, I can't
Lagrangian.
even read full lines here.
All you need is the equations, really.
Okay, let K be the kinetic energy of a system and V be its potential energy. The Lagrangian L for the system is defined. I can't read this.
I have no idea how I would be able to make this. It literally forced me to view whole file.
Can
by the
you
way,
send me a
to
link to
do
this
it.
nonsense?
It's kind of an 80s-ish looking website.
Can you
so-
send me a link? Because I can't read what you sent me.
Okay. Here, this is better. This is like a little 80s-ish looking website. I didn't want to link it back here, but
So, what are we looking for? This is
we're
Noita's.
starting at
This is Noita's
we're
theorem.
starting at we're starting at let K be the kinetic energy of a system, where you started. And then you take my predicate, for which the concept of time asymmetry was introduced after the theorem of Noether. To
Okay, a condition of a physical system is described by n coordinates and their time derivatives where, okay, for example, a body in vertical uniform, okay, thus the Lagrangian function. A physical system evolves over some period of time from 0 to t such that the integral of its Lagrangian is a minimum.
and this
I don't know what that means. A physical system evolves over some period of time from 0 to t such that the integral of its Lagrangian L equals that is a minimum. What does that mean?
okay, where are we? I wasn't following you, so
A physical system evolves. You see, a physical system evolves. Yes
is
or
this
no?
in one of the first No, I don't see it. 'Cause
Can you
a physical
search the
system
text?
evolves.
Search for the text.
Okay.
A
I'm
physical.
at it. Holy shit! You gotta be a little less belligerent here, dude. We're trying to come to truth, not. A physical system evolves over some period of time from 0 to t such that the integral of its Lagrangian is an integral from 0 to t. What's wrong with that?
It says is a minimum. What is a minimum? What does that mean?
0, its Lagrangian is a minimum. I don't know, dude. Hold on.
Okay, let's continue. The determination of the trajectory of the system is a problem in calculus variation. The result from the calculus variation is that for the Lagrangian integral to be at an extreme, a maximum. Why are we looking for an extreme? Why do we care about the Lagrangian?
Because it's going to help us when we come to the momentum, the conservation of momentum. Do you know what a Lagrange?
Just answer the
Like a
question. Don't ask
Lagrangian.
me questions. Why do we care about the Lagrangian?
It's helping us. Right?
Yeah.
We
Why
put
do
a
we care?
minimum
Why
and
do
an
I care about
extreme
why do I care about the Lagrangian?
for which we take in the time derivative. If we go down later into the proof, we get the derivative of the Lagrangian function is equal to this, and we sum that to this, and then we're at the end of our proof. We're setting bounds at the top.
Yeah. Why do I care about the Lagrangian? Why should I care about it?
Read the proof.
No. You answer the question. I'm not going to read anything.
No,
I'm doing you. Okay.
Why?
Okay. Either you answer the question or I'm moving on. So I'm doing you a favor.
Okay, I guess you can move on. It's there.
No. Look. I'm talking to you, or I'm moving on. It's up to you. You answer my questions. We can have a discussion. I can explain to you why this is not a proof, or you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. You want to believe that this is a proof. You want to close your eyes and believe in Jesus. That's fine. This is nonsense. You want me to show you why it's nonsense? That's fine too. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Okay, show.
I'm showing you using the Socratic method. So I'm asking you leading questions. So you can try and answer. I'll help you arrive at the answer that this is nonsense. You want to go through that process? That's fine. You want to close your eyes and believe in Jesus? That's fine too. It's up to you. Right now, you're closing.
That method of dialogue assumes that you're right?
No,
we're trying to
maybe
have
I'm
a
wrong.
debate.
Maybe this is the Socratic method. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm
No,
open-minded.
the Socratic method never leads to Socrates being somewhat like,
Okay. I'm sorry.
convinced
I'll
by
be nice.
somebody else.
I'm open-minded. I might be wrong. I don't care. I don't care about Socratic, Socrates, whatever. I don't care. So, do you want to discuss this proof?
I want you to show me why exactly you're throwing
We're
away
going
the
to do
first
it
part of the
by
proof.
me asking you leading questions. I'm not going to give you
Oh
any
my god.
answers.
Okay. Well,
All
I
right.
guess then we have to stop.
Why? Why? You don't have to stop.
Well, because you apparently have some elucidatory information, but you're not sharing it.
I'm dying to share it, but I'm not going to just give you the answer. I'm going to ask you leading questions. You will understand everything this page says by the time we're done, and you're going to know the weakness of this proof when we're done. And you're going to stop believing in fairy
we can't
tales.
do that if you withhold information.
Okay, look, I told you my condition. I'm not divulging information. I'm asking you leading questions.
You are.
I told you my
No,
condition.
but by doing that
Yeah,
process,
that's
you are withholding
Correct.
information from me.
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
Yes, but I don't. That's bad faith. Like I am in a conversation with you,
but I'm
appealing to this.
transparent. I'm transparent.
Yeah, but I don't care if you're transparently bad faith. You're
Not
carrot
how.
and sticking me right
Alright.
now.
Oh my God. What?
You're carrot and sticking me right now.
What?
Like it's. I'm not a little piggy.
What piggy? What did you say?
Yeah, you're carrot and stick. You're riding atop my back.
No.
With a carrot and a stick and a
No.
string
Okay.
dangling the carrot
Let's
in front
start
of my
over.
face.
Let's start over. Let's start over from scratch. Do you want to read this proof together and we can show the problem in the proof?
Sure.
Okay.
We were already doing this.
Okay.
So,
Let's.
from what I can gather,
Mm-hmm.
we're gathering points for a Lagrange function, of which, I don't know,
How do we know?
this represents a point.
How do we know? How do we know that the Lagrange has any significance in this universe?
How do we, it's simply another structure like an integral. How do we know an integral has any?
No. An integral is fine. I'm fine with an integral. This specific integral. How do we know that the minimum of a Lagrangian has any significance in this universe? It's not even true. It's not the minimum. It's an extrema. But fine, whatever. How do we know?
Sorry, my headphones actually just died. I missed. I'm fine with the integral.
I'm fine with the integral. The question is this specific integral. Wait, I have somebody who's coming to visit me. Let me just answer the phone call. All right, I gotta go. I have a guest. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll send you a friend request quickly. I'll see you later. All right, we'll stop here for now.